Hey friends, so today I will be making freezer meal preps. They are specifically for my sister. I will be doubling the batch of each one that I will be making so I can have one myself and then one for her. She is almost due for her baby and I'm super excited to be an aunt again. Today for meal prepping, what I'm gonna be doing is I'll be doing some pumpkin oatmeal muffins. I was gonna do some chicken thighs, but she says that she already has some in the freezer, so I'm gonna put that on the side. And then we will also be making ciabatta breakfast sandwiches. I was gonna do them croissant, but she prefers that type of bread instead. And then I'll be making as well baked penne pasta, and if I have time, I'll also make some breakfast quesadillas. So with that being said, let's get started. Here I am, we're doing the pumpkin oat muffins. This was my very first time trying this recipe. Usually if I'm doing freezer meal preps, I tend to not try new recipes, but I did give this one a shot. They did come out very tasty, however, it was not sweet. I did add about 2/3 cups of maple syrup. Keep in mind that this is a double batch, and however, it was still not sweet. I would probably add brown sugar next time, and I will be keeping this batch for myself, and I'll be making a new batch for my sister, and I'll just probably tweak the recipe, probably add some brown sugar in it, and yeah, I think that would really give it a good touch. My son absolutely devoured these. He thoroughly enjoyed them. I will say that the batch that I am keeping for myself, I will probably have it warmed up and paired with some maple syrup on the side, just to kind of add that sweetness to it. So the recipe did call for adding everything in the blender and blending it on high, minus the chocolate chips. And so here I am adding the chocolate chips onto my batter. I'm going to go ahead and add it onto my pan and bake it at 375 for about 20 to 23 minutes. While those are baking in the oven, I am going to start on the Ciabatta Sandwiches. This is my first time trying out this Amylu maple chicken sausage. It tasted very good. I did give it a try earlier in the week, and it was absolutely delicious, and I already knew it was going to be a hit. And so here I am adding the chicken sausages onto my pan. I have the pan set on medium heat, and I'll be flipping that after 3 to 4 minutes. And here was my oopsies. I had accidentally forgot that I was no longer making croissant sandwiches for my sister, and so I went ahead and cut the cheese slices into rectangles, but we keep going. Keep in mind that I am making 12, so I have to constantly flip them, and while I'm doing that, I'm going ahead and adding the cheese onto my sandwiches so they're just ready, and all I have to do is add the egg, add the sausage, and we are done. And after the chicken patties were done, my timer went off for the muffins. I did go ahead and take them out and added the rest of the batter for the second batch. Something you are not seeing on this video is me prepping the eggs for the sandwiches. I had already done that the day prior, so we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start showing you my process for the breakfast quesadillas. Now these were a hit. My sister and her husband both absolutely loved this. I actually thought this was gonna be her least favorite thing. I genuinely did not know she liked quesadillas that much. The only quesadillas I've ever seen her consume is from Taco Bell, so I had only made 11 quesadillas, and to my surprise she said this was the hit of the entire meal prep that I made for her. In a medium heat pan, we'll be adding the eggs, chopped sausage, bell peppers, salt and pepper, and letting them cook thoroughly. Once the eggs are done, we're going to go ahead and let them cool slightly. I did want them to still be a bit warm, just so it could kind of stick with the cheese. So here I am adding cheese, some eggs, and a little bit of cheese on top of the eggs, just so the tortilla could get stuck on both sides and it's not gonna just flip open in any time while I'm assembling the rest of it. And here's my favorite part. So onto the pan, I go ahead and add some of the queso quesadilla onto the pan, and then I place the tortilla right there so it can really give that crispy cheese on top, at least on one side. I really only wanted it on one side just in case it was too overwhelming or too salty. And look at that, they look so beautiful. This was one of my favorite parts of the meal prep this week. And so as you can see, once I was done, I went ahead and started packaging them up. I added some aluminum foil, and on the Ziploc bag, I wrote all the instructions and directions so my sister knew exactly how to warm them up. I know it's not really a science to warm these up, but as a first-time mom, I just wanted to make sure that I thought of every possible thing to make her life easier. And unfortunately, I don't have the rest of the video of me making and assembling the baked penne pasta, but I will show you part of it that I was able to record. And so here I am cooking up on a oiled pan on medium-high heat. I went ahead and added the bell peppers, onions, and I did 3 frozen cubes of my homemade sofrito. That's actually what really makes this baked penne pasta come together. It really gives it an amazing taste on the meat. And while it's not really necessary, my favorite part on homemade pizzas, pastas, or anything that requires melted cheese is that I like to freshly grate my cheese. And as for the cheeses, I'm using whole milk, low moisture mozzarella, as well as Parmesan. And while I know that it seems like there is a lot of meat on my pan, always remember that I am doing a double batch of everything I made today, minus the quesadillas. And so, of course, it is a lot of meat. I went ahead and seasoned it with my favorite seasonings, the basic seasonings: salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, parsley, and my favorite, fennel seeds. Here I'm cooking it until it's no longer pink, and once it's no longer pink, I'm adding my 2 pounds of red sauce so I can have a meaty sauce with the baked penne pasta. While I am cooking the beef and adding the sauce, I am also in a separate pan boiling my pasta at the same time. And here I am starting on my white sauce. So the baked penne pasta goes with 2 sauces. I do a homemade white sauce and a pre-bought or homemade marinara sauce or some type of red sauce. And so here I have some garlic butter, heavy cream. I'm mixing those 2 in, making sure they're well combined. And afterwards, I will be adding my seasonings. I will have the seasonings listed here on the screen for you. Once I see that the seasonings are well combined, I go ahead and add in most of my mozzarella cheese that I did shred. I will save a little bit, about 1.5 cups to 2 cups, so I can put it on top of the baked penne pasta so it has that cheesy crust whenever you put it in the oven, and the rest of my Parmesan cheese as well. Once everything's melted and gooey, you go ahead and add the cooked pasta and you're ready to assemble. And so the rest of my video did not record. And as I was done making the baked penne pasta, I also did not take a picture, but I will add some photos here of how it looked after I baked the one I had made for that day. The only reason I did not take a picture of it or show anything was my camera had died and it did not record it. I did not know.
And right as I was done, my sister came, and so I just went ahead and gave her everything so she can already have it and store it in her home. Anyways, I hope you like this video and you subscribe to see more content on mine. You will probably be seeing more cooking, meal prepping, gaming, and just my everyday life as I try to take it slow day by day. I hope you guys have a great day and thank you for watching.